What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City live stream. Today, we're going to be doing the live stream watch-along of Manchester City's Premier League game against Leicester City in the Premier League. Of course, one win in 13 games for Manchester City. The poor form has continued. It's our final game of 2024. Can we end it on a positive note and get back to winning ways as Manchester City look to try and regurgitate, however you say it, their season and try and push on and see if they can scramble some success in the second half of the season. Title race, top four, go for a domestic cup, go for the FA Cup. What do we do in the Champions League? We're not looking too great in that. Where do we go? What are we doing? What's going on? So many questions, but Manchester City here got a chance to try and get some answers, try and get some much-needed 3 points and look to try and push on with our season, which, of course, Pep Guardiola has confirmed is officially our season to suffer. So, before I do crack on with this live watch-along, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. We're now less than 400 subscribers away from my aim of 39,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Remember, we are aiming for 100 likes, so any help towards that would be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat where we've got Daniel in on the chat. Much appreciated and welcome. Daniel says, every time I watch City games, the midfield's always getting ran through. Manchester City are missing something. They need to do something about that. In January, I think that's a fantastic assessment. City's midfield is old. It's why it's getting ran through. There's not a lot of legs there with Manchester City's midfield. I think they're obviously struggling with the absence of Rodri. Was always going to struggle with the absence of Rodri, but there's no excuse for one win in 13 games. We saw from last season that Manchester City weren't great when Rodri wasn't there, but there's still more than enough quality for Man City to go out and put in a high quality performance and be able to win games. They're just simply not applying themselves enough, and that's what Manchester City need to try and find and get right very soon. Starting here with this away game against Leicester City. Raheem, thanks for tuning in. Says, let's go City, we can do it. Nice bit of positivity there. And welcome, Raheem. Thank you for tuning in. Geffen, thanks for tuning in. Says, Man City just need to try and get a trophy. Maybe the FA Cup. We need to lower the age a lot of the Manchester City squad. I think that will be the aim over the next 2 to 3 transfer windows to bring that average age of the squad down. And Manchester City will bring the average age of that squad down. You've just got to bear with it. But as I was saying before, one win in 13 games, that's what we keep coming back to because that is the fact. That's what we have to deal with. Now, if City could just plod along and just get a bit of run of form, you know, you're going to win 2 in every 3 or 1 in every 2, just keeps the points ticking over because the Premier League, other than Liverpool's, quite a low points tally. So there's going to be a lot of teams that are interested in trying to potentially become a European team for next season because the points tally is just that low. And to be honest, outside of Liverpool, everybody else has been lacking consistency, including the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal. So the Manchester City, you get a run of form, you can just string together 3-4 wins in a row and, you know, you can find yourselves way up in the league table. And obviously City are normally always much better in the second half of the season. So City will be saying, if we can just get 5 or 6 wins in a row through the remainder of this month and through January as well, and all of a sudden City will more than likely be sitting in the top 4. We're probably not going to be near Liverpool at that point, but you know, if you make progress and you're through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, which is where we'll be up to by the end of January, and you're into the playoffs when it comes to the Champions League, then you've got every chance of salvaging the season and making some tremendous success. So that's what Manchester City have to aim for. And as I said, it has to start here. I wanted it to start on Boxing Day against Everton. It was going to plan. It wasn't going to plan. We missed a penalty in the hedge drop. So lessons have to be learned. I look at the starting 11 today and I'm thinking that starting 11 should be doing a job on Leicester City, if I'm being honest. And if it's not, then to me, something not quite going right. Anyway, we'll talk more as we go on with the stream about Man City's form. Also, I wanted to give a big shout out to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Remember, you can go and check them out. They are a free app to download. They're going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores, along with the latest match information, match statistics, match analysis, and all your good footballing needs. They're going to be providing all the information for today's live stream for you guys. As I said, it is a free app to download, so worthwhile checking out, and anybody that does download using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. I do have my promo video, which I'm going to roll for you guys right now. So let's have a look at the teams. Don't forget, guys, get in the comments what your score prediction is for today, and also where you're tuning in from as well. That'd be much appreciated. Michelle going for a 1-0 Manchester City win, which I will take every single day of the week. I'm not too sure we're going to keep a clean sheet. I'd like for us to keep a clean sheet. If we can, and we're able to 1-0 a game, I'll be more than happy with that, if I'm being honest with you guys. I have also got my poll rolling in the chat as well. Who you think is going to win at the moment? 23% thinking a Leicester win, 64% going with a Manchester City win, with 14% going with a draw. So let's have a look then at the two teams, and let's make some assessments from there about where this game could go and what's going to happen from there. Daniel going with a 1-1 draw today. Much appreciated, Daniel. Thank you for getting your score prediction in the chat. Who do I think is going to... I'm feeling positive, so I'm going to go Man City to win, which 64%, ironically, 64% of you guys on the stream and 64% of SofaScore users think that Man City are going to win this game. 111,000 votes on SofaScore. 21% going with a Leicester win and 15% going with a draw for this game. Geffin going negative today, going 1-0 Leicester City. I can completely understand the negativity, to be honest, with you guys. Man City fan going nice and positive, going for 3-1 Manchester City based on the lineup. Very happy with that. He says, Leverkusen, if they don't renew Florian Wirtz's contract, do I think Man City will sign him? I have my doubts about Man City signing Florian Wirtz. I'd love Florian Wirtz at Manchester City. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jamal Musiala would be a better player than Florian Wirtz at City. I think he'd really suit our system and Pep Guardiola. But again, I just don't think he's going to leave Bayern Munich. So I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. I'd like for it to happen. Of course I would, but I don't see it happening in particular right now. But we'll see. Definitely won't be in the winter. It's not the kind of transfer that gets done in the January transfer window. Massam, thanks for tuning in. I am well. Thank you very much. I hope you are well as well. AZ, thanks for tuning in. Going for a 2-1 City win today. Raheem going with a 3-0 Manchester City win. Lots of positivity there. I like it. Daniel reckons City's midfield, the issue for him. He's gone with 1-1, concerned about the legs. So let's have a look first at Leicester City's lineup. Lining up today with a 4-2-3-1 formation led by manager Ruud Van Nistelrooy, former Manchester United striker. They're starting with Stolarkics. Hope I've said his name correctly. Their goalkeeper. They're going with a back four made up of James Justin, Conor Coady, Jannik Vestergaard, and Christiansen as their left back. Two-man midfield made up of Winks and Sumare, with El Kanu starting in front of their striker and captain Jamie Vardy for today. I'm surprised they've run the risk with Jamie Vardy. He's only just come back from injury. I thought Patson Daka would have got the nod ahead of Vardy, but they're going with Vardy today, so we will see what happens with him. And they're going Buonarroti starting on the right wing, with Mavididi starting on the left. On the bench for Leicester City today, they've got Ederson, O'Reilly, Thomas, Choudhury, Wilson, Brown, Skip, Cordova, Reed, Alves and Patson Daka. They are missing quite a few players, including Fais. Ayew out today, suspended. Hermansen, Ndidi, Piera and Isahaku as well. So plenty of players for Leicester missing today. And I'm looking at that team and I'm thinking that team's really there to be got at. They're sitting 18th in the league. Manchester City need to turn up and win this game. I'll be very disappointed if we don't win this game. There is no reason and no excuse for City not to be winning today, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. Last thing of note, the average age of the lineups today, Leicester at 26.5 years. Manchester City is a whole year ahead of them at 0.1 of a year between them. 26.5 years for Leicester and 26.6 years for Manchester City. Now, Manchester City lining up today with a 4-1-4-1 formation according to SofaScore. They're going with Stefan Ortega-Moreno to start in goal for City today. The back four made up of Rico Lewis, Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake is been risked by Manchester City. He starts today with Josko Gvardiol on the left-hand side. I imagine that'll mean Rico Lewis going into midfield and supporting Mateo Kovacic, who we find in midfield. Alongside him, we've got Bernardo Silva and captain Kevin De Bruyne starting today behind the striker Erling Haaland. On the right wing, we've got Savinho starting once more, and it looks like Phil Foden's going on the left wing for Manchester City today. On the bench for City today, you've got Scott Carson, Jahmai Simpson-Pusey, Kyle Walker, Jack Grealish, Ilkay Gundogan, James McAtee, Nico O'Reilly, Jeremy Doku, and Divin Mbama. More experience there for City today. Nice to see Kyle Walker and Jack Grealish returning to the bench. You've got an option like Ilkay Gundogan, who could potentially come from the bench as well. Jeremy Doku, another option running at some tired legs, an impact sub. And also nice to see Mbama, McAtee, and Nico O'Reilly on the bench, along with Simpson-Pusey as well. And I'd like to see some of these young players for City finally being given their opportunity and getting some minutes, because at the moment, Kovacic, we don't want to be starting him every single game because he will pick up an injury because he's injury prone. Nathan Ake, Manuel Akanji, they've both been pretty injury prone as well. Kevin De Bruyne, he needs to prove his fitness for Manchester City according to club sources before they're even willing to offer him a new contract, so he could potentially be leaving in the summer. So there's plenty of opportunities for rotation should Manchester City choose to go down that route, and it would be the youngsters that I'd like to see in particular if we're lacking with fitness and lacking with legs. You know, there's lots of runners there on the bench that City just don't seem to be given the opportunity to. McAtee, O'Reilly, they must be desperate to get minutes out there for City, but at the moment, just not working out. And once more, Jacob Wright not on the bench for Manchester City today as well. City missing their own players, including Rodri, Oscar Bobb, Ruben Dias, John Stones, Matheus Nunes, and Ederson, who are both still missing. And I imagine Nunes and Ederson aren't too far away from returning for City. John Stones, I think, is a couple of weeks away, as is Ruben Dias. Oscar Bobb could be back by the end of January, and Rodri, of course, out for the season. I see no reason why Man City, though, looking at the experience and the quality that they've got, the likes of Nathan Ake, Josko Gvardiol, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Kovacic, Haaland. I want these players to be gelling. I want these players to be linking up and showcasing that they are capable of Manchester City being able to put in high quality performances and be able to win the games as well. City should be winning this game, if I'm being completely honest. On paper, we are stronger than Leicester City, so if we turn up and put in a really good performance, then Man City can win this game. Will they, though? Are we going to have these problems with mentality, with physicality, with confidence? What is going to happen? It's been very unpredictable from Manchester City so far this season, and in particular over the last 2 months. And we're going back to that one win in 13 games. It has to change, and it has to start today if City do want to be able to get some success come the end of the season. So don't forget, guys, please do leave a thumbs up on the stream. That would be much appreciated. We are aiming for 100 likes. We're on to 21 likes, which is a great start to the stream. We are 79 likes away from 100, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And don't forget, get your thoughts in the live chat as well. Man City fan says Vardy scores for Leicester and Savinho, and Haaland grabbing 2 for Manchester City and going for a 3-1 victory for Manchester City today. I do hope that you are right. Raheem says our midfield and attack are poor. We're not creating or scoring enough. I agree. Defensively not been great either. All across the pitch, just not been too great from Manchester City so far. Man City fan says, what big names do you think City will sign in the summer? In terms of big depends what your class as a big name. I think Man City are going to try and bring in at least one central midfielder in January, and I don't think we'll be done there when it comes to central midfielders. I think Kevin De Bruyne will leave Manchester City at the end of the season, and I think Manchester City will start to look to try and spend big money on bringing a potential midfielder in, whether that be a like-for-like replacement for De Bruyne or somebody offers something a bit different. Maybe it depends what happens with Ilkay Gundogan, because his contract's also up in the summer. I think if Gundogan does leave, I think I could see Man City investing a lot of money in potentially trying to prize Bruno Guimaraes away from Newcastle, but a lot depends on, do Man City have Champions League football to offer players next season? And if we're going after Aston Villa or Newcastle players or anybody else that's flirting around the top four, if they don't make the top four, can we prize them away? What's going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. Daniel says City 7th place. It isn't good enough. It isn't good enough. It should be challenging for the title. It's been poor from Manchester City so far this season, and they've just not managed the season well enough so far. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. We all feel it. We do. We all feel it. Queen Julia, thanks so much for tuning in once more. Says, it's Pep's 500th game in charge at Manchester City. It certainly is Pep's 500th game. How many managers have managed to make 500 games for their club in England? It's a whopping achievement. And hopefully it'll be a win for Pep Guardiola as well. Michelle says, De Bruyne still got it. Hopefully he can show that today. That would be great. John, thanks for tuning in as well. Do hope you are well. Raheem says, bring on some of the youngsters, utilise them. They've got to be utilised. They really do. Man City fan would like to see Wirtz, Lookman, Bruno G, Diogo Costa and Kimmich all brought in. That's a very busy summer for Manchester City. Sulaiman, thanks for tuning in. I hope I said your name correctly. I probably haven't. I do apologise for that. I do hope you are well, and thank you very much for the kind words. I'm reading Julia's comment just above saying, I wish Savinho would score a goal. It'd be nice to see Savinho open his account today. That'd be marvellous. It'd be really good work. Adrian, thanks for tuning in. Savinho does need to score a goal, and it would do in the world of good. He put in a good performance against Everton. If he can grab a goal here today, that would be great. He's got to start a game once more, so we will see. Daniel says City need a backup for Haaland in the summer. I think City are going to be targeting that backup in January rather than the summer. I can see that being signed next month rather than waiting until the summer, because Haaland, just quite frankly, he needs a rest. He really does need a rest. Adrian reckons Vardy scoring today, Savinho, De Bruyne and Erling Haaland all scoring as well. Dave says, come on City, make me happy before Borough make me sad. Dave, I always look forward to your comments. They always make me laugh. Moon, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. And Jardine, thanks for tuning in, nice and positive, says 4-0 to Man City. Haaland scores, so last year's prediction as well. Geffin says we need to use the youngsters more because we need them fresh legs on the pitch. I agree, completely agree. Really do. I get fed up of repeating myself in my match reactions after every game and saying, we're lacking legs, we need some options, we need players in, and youngsters are there to be used and they're not being used, and it's frustrating. And I've repeated myself now for 2 months with that. And it gets more and more frustrating every time I have to repeat it. When once more we're not seeing the young players featuring. None of them getting starts here today. And if they don't come off the bench and City drop points, I'll be saying the same after today's game as well. Finally, guys, do go and check out today's video. Sponsor SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. You can use the QR code on screen as well if you want to go and download it. It is free to download. Just keep you up to date with all the latest football scores along with the latest match information, match statistics, match analysis. It's keeping you guys up to date with everything happening across Man City's game and across all the other football games as well for you guys to enjoy during today's stream. It'll keep you up to date with all the latest information and scores from all the other sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. It is free to download, worthwhile checking out, very highly rated. Anyone that does download using my link in the description or the link in the live chat or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. Corey, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated as well. And Solomon, thank you very much. I do hope you are well, my friend. John, who says, who do I reckon will win the Super Bowl? Well, firstly, I reckon... Do you know, I have a funny feeling it's going to be the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. I reckon they'll take the AFC from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I reckon they're on the way to the Super Bowl. And I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm waiting until Minnesota are playing the Detroit Lions next week. Winner of that, I imagine, will be taking the number 1 seed in the NFC. And I think the winner of that game goes to the Super Bowl. And I think the winner of that game also takes the Super Bowl as well. And I'm hoping it's going to be the Detroit Lions. I've got nothing against Minnesota Vikings if they take it. A good team. I think it's going to be Detroit's year. Yeah. It could be the Buffalo Bills' year. They've looked very good at times this season. Very good. I mean, we all know it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs, but we live in hope that might not be the case. But here we are. Anyway, right, guys, we are less than 4 minutes away from kickoff between Leicester City and Manchester City in the Premier League. A really big game. Leicester City needing 3 points because, well, they're down in the relegation zone. They need points. It's a home game. They're under pressure. They've got to perform under a new manager in Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Can he do one and get a job over Pep Guardiola? Pep Guardiola, alternatively, 500th game in charge of Manchester City. City down in 7th place, 1 win in 13. They need 3 points and a win today as well. What's going to happen? Should hopefully be, fingers crossed, a good game, an entertaining game, plenty of goals, and fingers crossed again, a Manchester City win as well. That would be absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to get the game loaded up because JSGC. I haven't streamed. Apologies, by the way. I don't think I've streamed in like 3 weeks. I've just been super busy. Either I'm out and about, really busy with things happening, or I'm at the game, like the Manchester Derby and things. So under normal circumstances, I would be streaming. And I've just not managed to stream as much as what I would like. So I apologise for that. We're streaming today. Last stream of 2024. And I'll be streaming again on Saturday. City's game against West Ham as well. Looking forward to that. I'll be streaming that one for you guys. First stream of 2025. So hopefully a couple of good performances and a couple of wins for City to try and get back on track. Nadir, I reckon it's going to be 2 players City will bring in. I think realistically we need 4, but I reckon it will be 2 rather than 4 that we'll bring in. I reckon it will be a backup striker for Erling Haaland because we keep hearing Pep Guardiola praising Erling Haaland and he's recognising that he needs a rest. So I think that they'll target a back central midfield, and if there is an option to bring somebody in to try and be that alternative for Rodri, I think they will try and go down that route is what I reckon they will do. I reckon it'll be 2 though. We could do with a fullback. We could do with a central defender. I could argue in case we need a right winger as well. Squad's very stretched. It all depends. Depends what happens with McAtee as well. He could be leaving, so... John, nice and positive, going for a 3-0 win today for Manchester City. Seamus, thanks for tuning in. A healthy 2025 to one and all, and I echo them thoughts as well. A very prosperous and happy 2025 to everybody. 2024 coming to an end, and as you've seen, all teams up and down the country taking their opportunity today to do their dedications, their memorials, and their reflection and remembrance for all those that we've lost in 2024. It's been a very difficult year for a lot of people, and I do hope that 2025 will be everybody's year, including Manchester City's as well. So hopefully we can persevere and we can do what we need to do. Now, my OBS seems to be sticking. I don't know if that's coming across on stream for you guys. I do apologise. I don't know why it's sticking. I was just about to refresh it to get it going, and it's just got going again. So, I don't know. If it's laggy and buffering, I do apologise. I have all my connection things, and they're all Oh, they were showing green. They're now not showing green. I don't know what's going on. Everything's gone very, very sticky. It's not a great start to the stream, is it? Sorry. Right, we've got kickoff. Kickoff's coming. Kickoff's coming. It's going to be Manchester City playing in sky blue today. White shorts, white socks. Leicester City playing in navy blue across the board. Shirts, shorts and socks. Kevin De Bruyne going to get us underway. Looks like it's Michael Oliver in the middle, if my eyesight doesn't deceive me. And we do have kickoff here. There we go. We're off and we're away. Adrian, what do I think of Sam? I've never watched Samuel Rishi play, so I can't really comment. Quite a few people have said they don't think he's good enough for Manchester City. But I've not seen him play to comment. If Pep Guardiola thinks he's good enough and City are happy to bring him in, then yeah, I'm more than happy to go. And I'm not going to argue against experts who think that players are going to be good. There we go. Andy, thanks for tuning in. Says just arrived in Easingwold for his break. Really need 3 valuable points. Definitely do. Do hope you're well, Andy, and do hope that Alisson's well as well. City got a throw in just inside the Leicester half here. I'm not too sure why it keeps buffering. It says there's not a problem my end, and then I noticed that it's sticking. It'll be my end, not your end. Should I just quickly reboot it to see if that works? We'll see. There's no harm. I'll quickly reboot it. I might momentarily go off. 1 second. There you go. Refreshed and rebooted. We'll see if that works. Can only not work. We'll see if it works. Anyway, here's Manchester City. And Savinho into the penalty area. He's looking good to the byline. Heavy touch. He's out on the left wing, Savinho, at the moment. And he runs it out of play. There we go. A few saying it's not buffering their end. That's good, thank you. Cheesy definitely due a victory. He is. I had the pleasure of meeting Ian, actually, during the Forest game. Nice chap. Nice man. I used to listen back in the day on BBC Radio Manchester when he worked for them on commentary for Man City. So, back in the day when everything wasn't so readily available on broadcast, you used to have to listen on the radio, and Ian Cheeseman was a big part of that. So it was nice to meet him and say hello. Nice chap. Here's King Kev. Gives the ball to Rico Lewis. Here's Phil Foden now. Gets an overlap from De Bruyne. Can't use the overlap and it's cut out. And that will be a throw-in for Manchester City. Here is Nathan Ake. Gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. He's got nowhere to go. Nearly finds Kovacic. Cut out by Conor Coady. He's just going to put that into the stands. Leicester being forced onto the back foot here by Manchester City. It's a nice, bright opening 3 minutes. Not managed to create or have a shot as of yet, but it's nice and positive. And that's always a bonus. John, yeah, it's a goal. It's a goal. Who remembers that? Good times. Good times. Here's Savinho. Yeah, we'll be reflecting, remember, back in my day when we won this and we won that. Here's Phil Foden for Manchester City. Gives the ball to Manuel Akanji. There's plenty of movement here from City. Looking pretty sharp although that wasn't so sharp from Rico Lewis, and Leicester City wanted a handball. Not given. Kevin De Bruyne has it on his left foot, lines a shot up, and it goes flying over the top of the crossbar. Man City's first shot of the game, 4 minutes in. Space opened up there for Kevin De Bruyne, and I think Kevin De Bruyne is one of them rare players. He's very good with both feet, and I think he'll be a bit disappointed that he's not managed to find the target. There you go. Seamus says, City start well, they finish badly. Any idea as to why? Fitness. I think Manchester City are just looking to try and score their goals. And here's Mavadidi, 1 second, I'll come back to it. Into the penalty area. Wants to get it onto his right foot. He does. He gets the shot away and it's wide. Yeah, it's all down to fitness. So Manchester City, I think the best example I've got of this is probably Feyenoord in the Champions League, where for 75 minutes City looked brilliant, but games aren't 75 minutes long. And I said after the game that if games were 75 minutes, it'd have been a 10 out of 10 performance from Manchester City. But because they're 90 minutes long, City really struggled with their fitness in that game. And once a team scores one goal towards the end of the game, the City team just start to feel pressure and they start to feel the wear and tear of the rest of the game. Because what should have happened when we were 3-1 up in that game is City basically drop a bit deeper, shut up shop, and the game's done. But from a physical point of view, last 15 minutes couldn't compete with Feyenoord. Even though they were 3-0 down at the time, they had enough in their locker and in their legs to still spring attacks on Manchester City. And City were relying on the scoreline doing the job for them. And at the moment, what City have been so good at over the last few years under Pep is coasting games. We score a couple of goals and we stop. And if you think back to last season when we was getting really frustrated about not scoring enough and the goal difference causing us concern, I don't know if you guys remember that. That was all to do with the smaller squad and City being concerned about their fitness, so they'll coast the game so they don't have to use as much energy, so they don't feel as tired, so you don't have to feel the need to rotate as much when you've not got the options to rotate like we don't have this season. So we're relying on good starts to score goals. We'll burn out very quickly. It'll be the same in this game. If it gets to like 60, 65 minutes and City still aren't ahead, we'll probably start to burn out because it's a long season. Surely Erling Haaland. It's a good save from the keeper, but it's a beautiful pullback from Kevin De Bruyne. It's a scintillating, energetic start this from Manchester City. Erling Haaland there finds the target. The keeper makes the save. It's a good save by the keeper, but Haaland should find the back of the net there for me. Should be 1-0 Manchester City. Here's Savinho to Kovacic. Josko Gvardiol now to Ayew. I'm not too happy with my camera angle. I'm just going to... 1 second, guys. There we go. City continuing to put pressure on to Leicester. Oh, nowhere to go here, Leicester. Nowhere to go and very nearly given away. They've done very well. And they're looking to spring a counter-attack. They've got 4 forward. Vardy's one of them. They don't use him. Edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's beautiful defending from Josko Gvardiol. Beautiful defending. A nice little pass into the channel there from Leicester City. Josko Gvardiol reads it perfectly. Outmuscles the attacker, and it means that it remains danger averted and 0-0. Getting a replay of that Haaland. Haaland should bag. Haaland should bag. It should be a goal. Here's Savinho. Gives the ball to Josko Gvardiol. So Foden's gone on. Interesting. Foden's on the right wing. I thought he'd have gone on the left and Savinho on the right, but they're trying Savinho on the left today with Doku on the bench. Quite interesting. Here's Phil Foden. Gives the ball to Kevin De Bruyne. Cross is going to come in. It's deep and he's worked back across from Savinho. And Leicester City will get that one clear. And they'll look for the counter again if they can get it right. And they do spring on a counter-attack here. And again, 4 forward. Oh, here's Vardy. Rounds the keeper. He shoulder to shoulder into Jahmai Vardy there. I think the offside flag goes up that saves Manchester City there because that was a penalty. Thankfully, that offside flag has gone up. It saves Michael Oliver from having a very serious decision to make. He was offside there, Jahmai Vardy. Doesn't quite time his run correctly. Ortega doesn't time his run and just takes out Vardy. I mean, not only is it a penalty, if I was at the other end, I'd have been asking for a red card for that as well. He just takes him out. Thankfully, that offside flag went up. There's a huge warning sign and a big let-off for Manchester City that whilst we've been nice and energetic and positive first 10 minutes, the counter-attack threat is there and Manchester City have got themselves a well-placed free kick. All over Kovacic there, and referee pulls it back, and it will be a free kick. Jadin, yes, Jahmai Vardy is being risked by Leicester today. He did have an injury, and I thought they'd have benched him and gone with Patson Daka, but they haven't. So I imagine Vardy's probably going to get at least an hour, maybe 70 or 80 minutes, and then Daka will come on at some point in the second half. And I tell you what, this is a good range for Kevin De Bruyne. He's got the ball. About 30 yards out from goal. I mean, my only issue that I've got with this is it's very central. Anyway, guys, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the stream. That would be great. Do subscribe if you're new around here. And do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. So let's see what KDB can do from this free kick. Captain in Manchester City today. In Pep Guardiola's 500th game in charge. Can't get it over the wall. Akanji allows the bounce. Bernardo Silva will mop that up. As we're now 67 likes away from 100 likes, guys. So any help towards that would be great. And once again, Leicester just they're dropping Jahmai Vardy deeper to pick the ball up. And they're just trying to get a couple of their attackers involved to spring counter-attacks. But it's not... Didn't quite link up there, but it's caused City problems. Not a very good ball across that from City, and Justin will have no problem in mopping that one up, and Leicester will get that clear. It's a poor clearance, only as far as Akanji, just inside the Leicester half, and Kevin De Bruyne nearly managed to find a way to squeeze the ball into the path of Haaland. In the end, Leicester will get that clear, and that will go out of play for a throw into City. Again, nice positive start from City. They just need to persevere. They missed that good opportunity through Erling Haaland in the first 5 or 6 minutes. That's a poor pass from Rico Lewis. Just passes the ball straight out of play for a throw-in. Not only does he pass it straight out of play, but he passes it backwards and out of play. So the throw-in now is going to be midway inside the Manchester City half. Leicester choosing to just try and take a breather and are just going to try and knock the ball around. Vestergaard gives the ball to Conor Coady. Dave, perfect. No more glitches. I just reset the camera on the stream. Normally when the things sticking, it's normally either software related or camera related. So if I restart it through the camera's end, it eliminates that problem. So if it was still glitchy, I'd just restart my software system. That'd take me about 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'd appear again and I'd see if that'd work. I'm happy that it's the camera. It only takes me a second to restart that, so I'm happy that everything seems to be crystal clear. You can all hear me, see me okay. 15 into the 15th minute now, 0-0 here at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City nearly got a penalty. Offside flag, thankfully, for Manchester City went up. Erling Haaland's gone close. It's been a high-energy game so far. Leicester Taken them 14 minutes, but finally have the opportunity just to knock the ball around and have a bit of a breather. Manchester City have managed to get everybody inside their own half. It's a poor pass forward from Leicester, and that will go straight into the hands of Stefan Ortega-Moreno. Here's Rico Lewis then for Manchester City. Gives the ball to Nathan Ake. It's good to see that Nathan Ake's injury is not as serious as what we first thought, and it's good to see him, after picking up that knock against Everton only 3 days ago, is fit to go here. I imagine some point in the second half we'll see Jahmai Simpson-Pusey come on for Manchester City for Nathan Ake. We've got no other options. That pass was never on for Akanji. I don't know why he played it. And Leicester can come forward. Here's McAtee up against Phil Foden on Leicester's left-hand side. Man City have managed to get everybody back once more. Kovacic just trying to put some pressure on. In the end, Leicester do well. Managed to thread the pass through and should be a free kick. Although referee's played an advantage because Jamie Vardy is in a good position there. It's excellent defending that from Rico Lewis, and that'll be a throw-in for Leicester City. Andy, I wish I could apply the same system just to reboot. As Vardy straight offside again there. A couple of times now Vardy's strayed offside. With a free kick for Manchester City, and City will get possession again. Seamus, I imagine Ake is probably carrying an injury. You can't go off with a knock and then 3 days later be ready to do a full 90 minutes. I mean, I imagine if Man City didn't have another game for a couple of weeks, Ake would probably be able to do 90 minutes, but we know we're playing in 6 days' time, and we know that we've got a very busy January schedule. I know the beginning of January we're only playing once a week, thankfully, but we know that by the end of January it's back to every 3 to 4 days. So rest and recovery, very important for Manchester City. So I don't think City will want to take too many risks with the players and rushing players back. I think we've got enough to cope. For me, this team that we've got is enough to win this game against Leicester City, and I think a similar team is enough to do the job and beat West Ham at home and Salford City at home. So they've just got to turn up and perform. It's as simple as that. John, it's Thatcher's Gold we've got in there. We've got some champagne. I think there's some white wine, red wine, and Prosecco in there. There's some fruit cider down the side of me here as well. Both non-alcoholic and alcoholic. Seamus, yeah, Oscar Bobb's been it's been a big miss. I think Oscar Bobb coming back helps take pressure off Erling Haaland, obviously, but I think it'll be a great asset because he looks so good pre-season playing out wide. Take some pressure off Doku, some pressure off Savinho. Allows us to focus with Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden going through midfield. You know, it takes some pressure off Kevin De Bruyne as well. Just gives you an extra option, and having versatile players, it gives you that option. But I'm not going to sit here and, you know, it's a serious injury for Oscar Bobb, so I'm not going to expect him to hit the high levels very early. It's going to take weeks, if not months, for that to happen. But it's an option. It'd be nice to have him back. It's an excellent tackle from Josko Gvardiol. It's 2 really good challenges he's made so far. A nice sliding challenge comes in. Stops Leicester in the tracks. Gives them a throw-in rather than the potential of having a ball played into the City penalty area. I know that Josko Gvardiol's been... Some have been criticising his defensive performances over the last few weeks. So it'll do Josko Gvardiol the world of good. Oh my word. Commentators cursing a half there. Stefan Ortega having a big word there with Josko Gvardiol. So a ball comes over the top. Gvardiol lets the ball drop. He heads it back to the keeper. It's nowhere near Ortega. Vardy nearly rounds Stefan Ortega and he has to make a big save. Josko Gvardiol there asked the question of why's Ortega not come and collected it, but it wasn't there to be collected. It was just a poor backwards header from Josko Gvardiol. Made a couple of good challenges, but that was nearly kamikaze once more from Manchester City at the back. In the end, Leicester can play a corner. They'll commit a foul and Manchester City will have a free kick. So danger averted there. Seamus, you certainly could use Oscar Bobb as the number 9. He's an option for City all across that attacking line, and it's good to have options. He'll be a useful player to have back. Really useful player. Here is Rico Lewis then to Kevin De Bruyne. Here's Manuel Akanji. A big let-off that for City. A couple of big let-offs that we've had actually early on here. Looked pretty bright first 10 minutes, and then Leicester City nearly came in for that penalty. If not for the offside flag, that kamikaze backwards header from Josko Gvardiol needed a good save from Stefan Ortega. Makes it a pretty even game. Here's Kevin De Bruyne then for Manchester City. It's a lovely pass into the channel for Rico Lewis. Here's Phil Foden. He's going to have a shot. It's rebounded. Savinho. Yes! It's his first goal for Manchester City. And it's Savinho with the goal. And he's made an announcement over the last couple of weeks that him and his partner are going to be having a child. So huge congratulations to them. And his celebration, of course, ball under the top. Paying dedication there to Savinho and his partner. And it'll mean the world to him to grab his first goal in England. His first goal for Manchester City. And it's a lovely finish. Really cool finish from Savinho. It's amazing what having shots does. You have a shot at the keeper. You force the keeper to make the save. It's on the rebound. And a lovely, well-taken goal from Savinho. And he deserves it. He really does deserve it. Good stuff. Really good stuff, that from Savinho and Manchester City. And City lead by 1-0. John, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Hope to see you later in the stream. No, yeah, 1-1-5. We could really do with a full-time whistle now. We all start making whistle sounds. Right, we've got in this position against Everton. We need to keep pushing now. See if we can get that killer 2-goal cushion. That's what we need. Oh, it's a good ball. Oh, it's desperately unlucky. It's unlucky that just over the top of Kevin De Bruyne. Here's Jannik Vestergaard for Leicester City then. They're just going to try and play this out from the back. Soumaré. Worked well here by Leicester to Conor Coady in space, and they're going to push forward now, so City have got to drop everybody back. Here's Justin to Soumaré. Oh, it's well defended by Akanji. Does well to find the header there, and Leicester City can just have some possession back again, but well read from Akanji with that ball coming in. I spoke about this in the importance of Manuel Akanji in my preview. How good did he look for Switzerland in the European Championships? He was like a rock for them. Pep Guardiola even said when he came back to Manchester City for pre-season that Manuel Akanji was the best defender at the European Championships. He was organised. He was organising that back line. He was using his intelligence. And he's an intelligent bloke. Used his experience, used his head, made Switzerland a very good team, a very good defensive team. So we could do with an informed Manuel Akanji, because that would be a huge bonus for Manchester City at the back. In the absence of Ruben Dias, it'd be good to have someone as smart and as cunning as Manuel Akanji just starting to find form. But we've seen it with Akanji over the last couple of seasons. He always seems to look fantastic in the second half of the season. First half of the season, you look at him and you think, well, City paid £12 million, and maybe you can see why. And then second half of the season, it looks like a £50 million defender rather than a £12 million defender. And we are starting to get towards that second half of the season now, where we start to see the very best out of Manchester City. So hopefully that will be the case, and if we can bring a couple of good reinforcements in the January window and we can get some players' fitness back up to scratch, then maybe it's not all doom and gloom for Manchester City, and maybe we can have some success come the end of the season. And success for me, we can win any trophy, it'd be very successful. I'm never going to turn my nose up at winning any trophy, whether that be the FA Cup or a European trophy. I mean, there is the potential that City could head out of the Champions League and drop into the Europa League, and some will be like, well, disrespect the Europa League, sack that off and focus on the league. But let's not forget, if worst case and we do end up going out and we end up being in the Europa League, then winning the Europa League gives you a golden ticket into the Champions League next season. And it's a trophy that we've never won before, and it's a trophy that Pep Guardiola's never won before. We do have to get in them top 24 places, though, to have the potential of being in the Europa League. Let's not forget, though. And we've not guaranteed that. That's how bad the campaign's gone for City so far. And we're needing a result in Paris in a few weeks' time. And a win against Bruges should serve Man City well. A couple of back-to-back wins in the Champions League actually will serve City very well. There's Leicester City then. It's not quite clicking at the moment. And here's Savinho now. He's got the option of De Bruyne in front of him. He uses that option. Here is De Bruyne. Back to Savinho. Can he find his pass back to De Bruyne? He's forced wide and he's forced to go backwards. Here's Bernardo Silva now to Kovacic. Savinho. He's got the run of Bernardo Silva. He's not going to use him. He's going to get a corner instead for Manchester City. Good work that from Savinho. Really good work. Starting now to see why Manchester City chose to invest £30+ million in Savinho in the summer for a player so young, and he's had a good season in La Liga last season, but a relatively unproven player before that. De Bruyne then to take the corner. He's going to go short to Bernardo, and De Bruyne, poor ball in from Kevin De Bruyne. And out for a throw into Manchester City. Doesn't even beat the first man off the back. And De Bruyne will be disappointed with that one, I'm sure. Anyway, throw in for City. Just next to Leicester's penalty area on the left-hand side. Josko Gvardiol to take. Throws it short to Bernardo. Gvardiol back to Bernardo Silva. Plays a 1-2. Josko to Savinho now. Edge of the penalty area. He's got support with Josko Gvardiol. There's Bernardo Silva. Can get a ball across, and Haaland's got a free header, and it's a tame header from Haaland. To be fair, there wasn't a lot of pace on the crosser. He's got a lot of work to do there, Erling Haaland, and obviously the first thing he'll be thinking is make sure his header's on target. He manages that. I imagine he's probably looking for the side of the net, and he doesn't get that right at all, and it's straight down the throat for the goalkeeper. Leicester playing a dangerous game, though, letting Erling Haaland have a free header inside the penalty area. A better header there, and that could have been quite challenging for the keeper. As it is, Leicester can come forward as Justin plays a not a very good ball into the box. And Stefan Ortega will happily gobble that up, and he'll throw the ball out to Rico Lewis. Seamus says Lewis not doing well in midfield. But he's... You see, I got a fair few comments. People thought I was looking for clicks and trying to clickbait people, and I wasn't. I'll give him my honest opinion. Rico Lewis, he is a young player, in my opinion, and I'm sure there'll be others that will disagree, and that is the beauty of football, opinions, and people will agree and people will disagree, and that's okay. I'll speak about Rico Lewis in a moment, because Savinho's got the ball on the edge of the penalty area here. Here is Josko Gvardiol to Bernardo Silva. Gives the ball to Josko Gvardiol once more. Adrian, he's so young. He's a very intelligent, very bright player. Savinho, he's a very good football player. That goal will do him the world of good. If Man City can start finding some form and Savinho starts finding goals and assists and stuff, he could really come into his own. I mean, you know, he did so well in La Liga. He had, how many goal contributions was it last season? It was over 30, I think. It's very impressive. You can't do that unless you are a very good player. It's just Man City haven't really found a way to make, as De Bruyne goes down, referee says no penalty, goal kick. I mean, there isn't too many complaints there from Kevin De Bruyne. But yes, I can see Savinho coming good. City just need to find a way of getting the best out of Savinho. To be fair, Kevin De Bruyne never asked the referee for a penalty. It isn't a penalty. I think he's just anticipating contact. There is no contact. He goes down, he doesn't look at the referee, he doesn't ask the question, so it's not simulation. I think that's what Leicester are asking for a yellow card, but De Bruyne's not asked for a penalty. I think he's just thought that contact was coming in and ended up going down. Going down doesn't mean that you've dived. Now, if De Bruyne was to go down and ask the referee, I want a penalty, and he's not being touched, that is a dive. And you have the bonus with VAR that if the referee was to make a mistake and point to the penalty spot, VAR would look at it and say it's not a penalty, or at least I'd hope they would. Because there's no contact. Here is Rico Lewis. It's a poor touch from Rico Lewis. Let's go back to Rico Lewis. He's been overused by Manchester City. He's a squad player. He is a squad player. Like Ilkay Gundogan was brought in, he's a squad player. And he shouldn't be overutilised by City. He should be used when we need to rotate as a nice, fresh, fit option to have. I have a problem if Rico Lewis is starting game after game after game after game because he's so young, relatively inexperienced, and he's still maturing. And to be honest, in terms of his physique, he's probably still growing. And to me, a top end of football, there's got to be options for Manchester City. He's not a starting 11 player. He's not a central midfielder. He isn't a right back. He isn't a defender. And if I'm being really brutally honest, because let's face it, we're looking here at a starting 11 player for Manchester City, Rico Lewis doesn't cut it. Because I still think he's 2 or 3 years of maturing away from being a player that could even be considered being near the Manchester City starting 11. I have no problem with Rico Lewis being around the City squad. I have no problem with him being used as a squad option, like what McAtee should be being used as. I'd have a problem if McAtee was a starting 11 player game after game after game after game, because they're not quite there at that level, and I'm not expecting him to be there at that level. And this is where some people argue that you've got to protect your young players, because eventually they'll get found out, and then everyone will look at them and say they're not a very good player like they are with Rico Lewis. He's a very good player. He's just been overutilised, and he's not got what City are looking for right now because he's just an inexperienced player. Savinho's the same. He's 20 years old. It's gonna take him a little while as a good ball comes in, and Manchester City are living dangerously. They're very lucky there that there was 2, might even have been 3. Yeah, 3 players queuing up for the tap-in, slightly beyond everybody. 1 touch, and that's 1-1. Yeah, concerning. Could do with that second goal. Yeah, no, Rico Lewis just... to me, he's not the player that we need right now. In an ideal world, I'd like Rico Lewis to be given more time. It's going to take 2 or 3 years. Same with Savinho. I mean, Josko Gvardiol's young. Erling Haaland's young. Haaland's, 24? Ooh, that's a nasty, nasty challenge from Savinho. And free kick given against Manchester City there. Looked like studs had come down. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. Referee's just said foul, move on, no cards. It looked like a high foot had scraped down there for me for a second. Thought Savinho could have been in big trouble there. Maybe I need to be back to Specsavers. Maybe I'm seeing things. Anyway, guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Do subscribe. Do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. I think Ortega suits Man City more right now. Teams are attacking and taking the game to City more. We're relying on the keeper to make numerous saves per game, and I don't think anybody's going to disagree when I say that Ortega, in terms of shot stoppings, a better goalkeeper in that aspect than Ederson. I also don't think Ederson wants to be here, is my next concern. His distribution's amazing. He's a fantastic keeper, but I don't think he wants to be here. I don't think he's wanted to be here since the summer. As Seamus said, he's already checked out. His mind's not in it for Manchester City, which makes him pretty useless. And I don't think we're going to bring any goalkeeper in between now and the end of the season. So I'd probably just, when Ederson gets his fitness back, I'd just rotate him with Ortega, and that'd be that. That's quite poor from Josko Gvardiol. Well mopped up by Mateo Kovacic. Haaland's decided to make a run. It was good feet from Haaland. Haaland! Oh, I thought it had gone in. Oh, I thought that had snuck under the keeper and into the back of the net. It's just wide from Erling Haaland. A lovely, lovely tackle from Kovacic. Oh, he deserved an assist just for that challenge. Oh, he's around two defenders there, Haaland, and it's just a yard wide. Desperately unlucky. Do you know Haaland will be disappointed, but he knows how good he is. On his stronger left foot, he even glances up at goal. He'll be disappointed that he's dragged that. Seamus, I do think we need a new right back. I'd get rid of Kyle Walker in the summer, and I'd bring a new right back in. Is what I would do. I just don't want us to overuse Rico Lewis that ends up severely affecting his confidence. How many young players do you see burst onto the scene and cement their place in the starting 11? They're overused, they get overrated, and then eventually they just end up slipping down the pecking order and shipped out. It's not managing the young player very well. Adrian, it's an excellent point with Kobe Mainu, yeah. Another young player. He's got the quality. They know that they've got the quality. As Leicester are in here, and that's a good save from Ortega. City desperate for their offside flag. I think the referee plays advantage. It did come in the end. Because Manchester City have come forward here on the counter-attack. Here's Bernardo Silva. Doesn't use the run of Savinho. Kovacic has looked good in this game so far. Yes, Adrian, yeah, that Mainu example is a perfect example. I could, to an extent, argue a case of Phil Foden as well. I could. He again's another young player. That's a poor touch from Foden. Adrian, thank you very much for leaving a thumbs up. Much appreciated. It means we're 57 likes away from 100. We're nearly halfway there. So any help towards that would be great, guys. Do subscribe. And also don't forget, check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. Here's Leicester then coming forward. Man City just taking the foot off the gas. And this is what happened against Everton. Foot comes off the gas. They come forward. They score a goal. And your hard work is done. We don't want our hard work to be undone. We need the assurance of a second goal. Leicester getting confident. And why wouldn't they? Another good ball into the box. Well defended by Manchester City. And it's hit the post! I mean, Gary, you might be right. Man City have just made Leicester look very good because, quite frankly, Man City at the moment haven't been very good. Although that's a good pass from Haaland into Phil Foden. That's a good ball from Foden. Haaland just couldn't quite get his head onto it, and Conor Coady will get that clear. It has gone end-to-end, Seamus. It has really gone end-to-end. A good game of football. City have just got to manage this. There's no real midfield. It's literally just one end to the other, and here once more is Leicester then. Getting confident. Means the space. City need to defend properly and utilise that space. You want to stop teams attacking us. Prove that you can defend, prove you can find the gaps and expose them and score from them. You watch how Leicester City will start to tighten up a little bit if they know that they're leaving gaps. Here's Ortega, just wants to slow things down, and the order from Nathan Ake there is just slow things down a little bit here. It does mean that Leicester will be able to get everybody back once more. So, Leicester hit the post. I'm not too sure why Ortega didn't decide to make a save or collect the ball there. He was just happy to watch the ball hit the post. He must have thought it would go in wide, but there we go, as Hwang has scored for Wolverhampton Wanderers away against Tottenham Hotspur. Speaking of poor, Tottenham Hotspur not doing very well. They're incredibly inconsistent. Leicester are playing against Manchester City. Yeah, they're not been very good. Seamus reckons a 4-4-2 formation. Do you know, we could have done with keeping Alvarez. 4-4-2 would have suited Alvarez down to the ground. But yeah, 4-4-2 could be what's needed, as long as that 4-4-2 on the right-hand side's made up with a centre-back. If Stones is fit, I pick him. If he's not fit, I go with Manuel Akanji. And when we get Diaz back, I'd go with Diaz and Ake and play Josko Gvardiol on the left. I feel like that gives Man City some physicality at the back and also gives us a little more organisation and some leaders on the pitch too. But they're obsessed at the moment, City, with trying to make the inverted fullback work with Rico Lewis. But I don't know whether that's just City insisting with that and they want it to work, or whether we've just not got another choice. We'll see. We'll see in January. Pep Guardiola will see things. He's a very, very smart manager. Phil Foden, I think, has a right to be a bit disappointed there. Wanted to pass. He had some space on the right. And City were too obsessed with trying to play it through a compact area in the middle. Didn't need to be played there. Could have just been worked out wide to Foden, who had time and space. But here we are. Foul committed by City. 4 minutes to play. Plus whatever's to be added on at the end. Dave says City currently 5th at the moment. We could do with just picking up a win. That win might keep us in 7th place. It's just the matter of the fact that, you know, it's not one win in 13. It becomes 2 wins in 14. And 2 wins in 14's not amazing, but sounds much better than 1 win in 14. And if you could just get a run of form, 2-3 wins in a row, I think City could be pushing from there. We've got a lot of difficult fixtures coming up, but important to remember a lot of these difficult fixtures that we've got, majority of them are at home. So if we can get players back and we can get a run of form, there's no reason why we can't win a few of these difficult fixtures as well. City have got the quality, they've got the capabilities, they've got the manager. They just need to try and sort things out in terms of the confidence and in terms of their own thinking, really. Here's Mavididi. Space left, right and centre for Leicester to work in. Samare manages to get a ball across and he'll get a corner. Spurs didn't have to wait long for their equaliser. Bentancur has been informed he's got an equaliser for Spurs. So, some defending here for Manchester City to do from this corner. Ruud Van Nistelrooy, manager for Leicester City, doesn't look very happy on the dugout at the moment. Corner here for Leicester and some defending for City to do. There's a lot of front post defending here from City. It doesn't even beat the first man, and more disappointing is that De Bruyne doesn't get the clearance right, and it's back out for another corner when it didn't need to be. Adrian, I agree. It's a matter of psychology, isn't it? You pick up a win, end your poor run of form, you look at the league table, 5th better than 7th, 2 wins in 14 is better than 1 win in 14. Look at the fixtures, and I think that City's next game against West Ham at home is very winnable. You end the year on a high, and you want to start 2025 on a high as well. And if you can win that, all of a sudden you get a little run of form, nice little break, and you feel better about things. But we've got to take it a game at a time. There's still a job to be done here. This game's not won by any stretch. In fact, Leicester have had a few good opportunities. City haven't really done much since we've scored, apart from that Haaland dragged effort. Had City been clinical, we could have had maybe 3. I mean, Leicester will be thinking to themselves, had they been clinical, they could have had 1 or 2 as well. So, here we are. At the moment, still got another minute to go until added time and half time. So don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That would be great. Can we hit 50 by half time? 5 more to go. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details they are in the description. Here is Akanji. Plays a pass to Nathan Ake. He's got Akanji in a bit of space on the right. He'll use Akanji on the right-hand side as well. I think it's important that City don't wait too long before making changes as well. I'm just starting to notice that City is starting to look a little leggy. Poor pass there from Akanji, looking across the channel, trying to find Foden, who they've moved over to the left-hand side. Not to be scared to make changes. Obviously, it's been a long half of football. We'll get a nice 15-minute rest, and when we come back out, I imagine the players will do 15-20 minutes and they'll be shot again, so not to be scared that when we get to the 60th to 70th minute, not to be scared to make a couple of changes. That's an excellent tackle from De Bruyne, and Haaland, can he sort his feet out? He's got Bernardo in space. He can't sort the pass out. Kovacic can have a shot and gets too much on it. Slices it, and it's wide. That was an opportunity for City as we enter into the first of 1 minute added on. It's a lovely tackle, that from De Bruyne. Had City been a bit... I think it was a better pass from Bernardo into Haaland. I think Haaland had wanted to have had the shot. And I think City knew there was a good opportunity. We're just panicking a little bit. And not sorting the passes out there. And clumsy in the end. Southampton have taken the lead away at Crystal Palace. Long ball sent forward then from Leicester City. Nathan Ake is going to hook that clear for Manchester City. Foden's back on the right wing now. It's a lovely touch from Phil Foden. Might be one last opportunity here for Manchester City in this half. They've only got 10 seconds or so to get something into the box, and Foden nearly tackled Rico Lewis as they're coming together. I mean, the referee wanted to give a free kick. He doesn't have to give a free kick because the half-time whistle does go. So Manchester City ahead here. Not too sure how we're ahead. Leicester City have hit the post. They played a lovely ball across the penalty area with three players waiting for a tap-in. No one could get on the end of it. Leicester should have had a penalty if the offside flag never went up. Could have been a red card for Stefan Ortega. A poor back header from Josko Gvardiol. Well saved from Stefan Ortega. There's been 3 or 4 really good opportunities for Leicester City in that first half, and they've not been clinical. And Manchester City, they lead here thanks to Savinho's first goal in the sky blue of Manchester City, and we've definitely got more hard work to do in the second half. But as it is right now, we're winning. And when you've won only 1 game in 13, can't really be choosers here. We're winning. We will take that, and we'll see what happens in the second half. Of course, under normal circumstances, I'd be looking at this game and I'd be thinking, we're 1-0 up at half-time, a big push early in the second half, see if we can get that killer 2-goal cushion, score next, heads of Leicester will go, try and wrap this game up ASAP and start rotating a little bit. But that's Manchester City under normal circumstances. That's normally when we're doing magnificent winning runs. At the moment, we're not on a magnificent winning run. It's 1 win in 13, so we need to manage this game. And we know that if we can defend properly second half and we can keep Leicester to 0, we win this game. Lots of hard work for the midfield, for the defence, for the attack, for the keeper, for the manager, for the fans, and for everybody. At the moment, though, City lead by 1-0. So let's have a look then at the statistics for this game. I imagine, quite a close game. Leicester with 49% possession, City with 51% possession. Leicester's expected goal rate not being clinical from them at 0.44. Manchester City at 1.05. Both sides with 1 big opportunity each, with Manchester City, of course, having that goal through Savinho. Leicester with 5 shots, 3 on target with 3 saves for Stefan Ortega. City with 9 shots, 2 on target. Not being the most clinical from Manchester City. Erling Haaland's had a couple of good opportunities in that first half, so it's not all been about Leicester City missing them good opportunities. Man City also haven't found a way to double their lead as well. Leicester with 274 passes, Manchester City with 286 passes. A very close game. And this game, if it continues like this in the second half, is going to be decided on which team is clinical and puts the ball in the back of the net. As Adrian says, It's on a knife edge, so plenty of work for Manchester City to do in the second half still. Leicester City have got work to do as well. Both sides looking for 3 points, and we do have the bonus that at the moment teams don't want to be drawing against Manchester City. They want to be beating Manchester City, which means they're going to continue to take the game to us regardless of what the score is and regardless of what's happening in the game. So Manchester City have got to defend deep but defend well. To me, been a little too open for my liking, and Leicester City have found it all too easy to create opportunities. And I think we're lucky that Leicester City haven't shown a bit of quality in that final third and come away with at least a goal. And if we continue like this in the second half, Leicester will get a goal, which means we've got to have the guarantees of a second goal. And I'd really like to see Manchester City attack and take the game to Leicester City like we did in the first 15 minutes of the first half, where City were full of energy and taking the game to Leicester, forcing them onto the back foot. And if we can do that and come away with a goal as well, then we're looking good for 3 points. If not, we'll see. Game's on a knife edge. Interesting game and a big second half coming up as well. So let's go around the grounds. We'll start in the Premier League. A lot of these games around the 20th minutes. Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 1. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Fulham 0, AFC Bournemouth 0. And Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. You do have West Ham playing at home at 5:15 p.m. GMT, where they're taking on Liverpool in today's game. Man City could really do with Everton getting an equaliser and taking some points off Nottingham Forest, as we're looking for a top 4 spot. But if things stay the same as they are right now, then Manchester City would climb into 5th place, but still 4 points behind 4th, and that's Chelsea in 4th, with Chelsea also having a game in hand as well. Moving on into the Championship, got 3 full-time scores. Norwich City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Preston North End 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and Sheffield United 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. In the latest games at 3 p.m, so all around the 20th minute as well, Blackburn Rovers 0, Hull City 0, Bristol City 1, Portsmouth 0, Coventry 0, Millwall 0, Oxford United 1, Plymouth 0, Stoke City 0, Sunderland 0, Swansea City 0, Luton Town 1, and Watford 0, Cardiff City 1. 5:45 p.m. GMT, you've got Derby County taking on Leeds United. And then at 8 p.m, you've got Middlesbrough taking on Burnley. In League One, 2 full-time scores. Charlton Athletic 2, Wycombe Wanderers 1, and Rotherham United 1, Stockport County 1. All the other games around the 20th minute as well. Birmingham City 0, Blackpool 0, Bolton Wanderers 0, Lincoln City 0, Exeter City 0, Crawley Town 1, Huddersfield 0, Burton Albion 1, Leyton Orient 0, Cambridge 0, Peterborough 0, Barnsley 0, Reading 1, Mansfield 0, Shrewsbury 0, Northampton 0, Stevenage 0, Bristol Rovers 0, and Wrexham 0, Wigan Athletic 0. Into League 2, 2 full-time scores there as well. Bromley 1, Swindon 1, and Carlisle 2, Accrington Stanley 1. Rest of the games around the 20th minute. Bradford City 0, Chesterfield 0, Cheltenham 1, Notts County 0, Colchester United 0, Doncaster Rovers 0, Fleetwood Town 1, Harrogate Town 1, Grimsby 0, Port Vale 0, MK Dons 1, Crewe 0, Salford City 0, Morecambe 0, Tranmere Rovers 0, Barrow 1, and Walsall 0, Newport 0. North of the border, a few games in Scotland, Scottish Premiership, all around the 20th minute as well. Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0, Hibernian 0, Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 1, Rangers 0, Ross County 0, Hearts and Midlothian 1, and St Mirren 0, Dundee 0. At 5:15 p.m, you've got Dundee United taking on Aberdeen. Now, I think that's all the games for you guys. Yeah, there was lots of non-league games yesterday. So there we go. There are all the scores from around the grounds. Do get your half-time thoughts in the live chat. As he says, Chris Wood with another goal. Nottingham Forest flying at the moment. Really flying. And definitely contenders for the top 4 right now. JPH, thanks for tuning in. Says, Phil looking knackered, could do with... I'd say, going back to what I was saying before, 15, 20 minutes into the second half, don't be scared to rotate and send some players on. Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland, Nathan Ake. Don't be scared to take players off. It's all about fresh legs and energy. Fresh legs and energy will win this football game. Because then you're going to be creating opportunities. At the moment, Man City are looking very leggy, and they continue like this, Leicester will find an equaliser, and it could be one-way traffic. Change it up, fresh legs on, take the game to Leicester City, see if you can strike and get a second goal, and then start to rotate a little bit more from there. That's what I'd be looking to do. We'll see. Niall says, hope Bernardo comes off. Terrified of taking a shot. Well, I feel sorry for Bernardo. He seems to be starting a heck of a lot of games. Again, just City have got no way of managing the team with the fitness and the options. And I'm just astounded we went into the season with a smaller squad than last season, considering we're playing more games. No pre-season this season, and the tight turnover of the previous season to this season as well. It astounds me. And we had an international tournament in the summer too. Very ill-prepared from Manchester City. Very ill-prepared. And disappointing too. But we're winning, so we'll see if we remain winning in the second half. Anyway, I've got some halftime entertainment for you guys to enjoy. Last halftime entertainment of 2024. So do sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink and some snacks, and I'll see you for the second half. This is my partner channel, Mixed. Links and details there in the description. Go and check him out. Like and subscribe with the strongest cocktail in the world, the Aunt Roberta. Enjoy.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another cocktail video, and you are in for a treat. It is the strongest cocktail in the world, apparently. I was going to say, if you do know your show cocktails, it is the Aunt Roberta, and it is considered the strongest cocktail in the world, and we're going to try it on this channel, see what it's all about. It's created by a prostitute called Roberta back in the 1880s, around that era. I was going to say late 1800s it was. I think she died at age 32, Roberta did. Because she worked as a prostitute, and then in her 20s, she created this cocktail. She has sold a few of her moonshine to homeless people. Apparently 32 people died around that era from this drink alone. So let's see what it's all about. So this is the Aunt Roberta cocktail. So to make it, get your mixing glass and put in 3 giant ice cubes. So the first ingredient to make an Aunt Roberta is 60ml or 2 parts of absinthe. Of more international orders, it'd be 2 ounces. Because it gets its name, because it's considered one of the strongest cocktails in the world, because how much absinthe's in it. Because another reason is, as you can tell, there's no fruit juice in this or anything, it's because there's just pure booze. Because there's still one hell of a cocktail, this one. Right, next is 30ml or 1 ounce of brandy. Next ingredient is 15ml or half an ounce of gin. Next is 90ml or 3 ounces of vodka. And the last ingredient, guys, is 30ml or 1 ounce of Chambord. Because if you've got a blackberry liqueur or anything that's close to like creme de meuse, I think it's called, then use that. Because the closest thing I've got to it is Chambord. What you want to do next now is give it a good stir until it's ready. So get it nice and cold. So get your coupe glass and strain into it. And as you can see, we've got a little bit left over as well, if you're brave enough. There we go, 1 Aunt Roberta cocktail. And there we go, that is how you make the strongest cocktail in the world, the Aunt Roberta. How does it taste? It's a lot nicer than what I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought it would be still has a kick to it. It's got to say, being the stronger it is, pure booze, you can feel that burning sensation going from my throat and into my chest. I can certainly taste it. I can certainly taste the absinthe in it. That's the strongest taste I'm getting with the absinthe. The aniseed, that very familiar aniseed taste that you get with the absinthe. But it's certainly drinkable, I was going to say. It'd certainly blow your head off, this one, but it's drinkable. It's quite tasty as well. I was going to say, I thought it'd be hideous. I thought it'd be very strong. I thought it'd be overpowering, but it's not. So it's quite dangerous, really, when you think about it. It's drinkable. It's quite drinkable, that. It's tasty, it's drinkable. A lot of aniseed you can taste in it. But if you like your boozy cocktails, this is for you, because I'd certainly recommend it. The strongest cocktail in the world. But if you do know a stronger cocktail than the Roberta, do let me know in the comments below, as I want to see it. And if there is any, I want to make it as well and try it. But apparently it's the strongest cocktail in the world, the Roberta. So if you do know any that are stronger than this, do let me know. But that, guys, is the Roberta cocktail, the strongest cocktail in the world, apparently. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixers. It really does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate your support. And I will see you guys for the next cocktail video. Cheers.
Thank you very much there to Mixid for providing today's halftime entertainment. Do go and check him out. Links and details, they are in the description. So players are back out ready for the second half. Seem to have timed it very well there. Normally I'm like a minute or two out, but seem to have got that one spot on. Leicester City already out, ready for the second half. Manchester City, they'll be getting a big fine at the end of the season. They always seem to be late out for the second half, regardless of who we're facing, what competition it's in. Always second out. I think Pep Guardiola just likes maximising his time. And it's classed as delaying the game and delaying the kickoff. So, yeah, the total gets added up at the end of the season, and Manchester City end up getting a fine for it. Happened last season, and it'll definitely be happening again at the end of this season as well. As Man City are only just making their way out of the tunnel now, and the game should have been underway a minute ago. So there we go. We're more than a minute behind. Don't look like Man City have made any changes. No surprises. I'm calling for Man City to be making changes 15-20 minutes in. Hopefully City can get off to a nice quick start here in the second half. And if we can get the assurance of scoring next, and that killer 2-goal cushion could just be the lethal blow that we're looking for in this game. At the moment, we're winning. That's the positive. Right, Leicester are going to get us underway here for the second half. They're attacking from right to left, with Manchester City attacking from left to right. And we do have kickoff for the second half. So a ball gets sent long by Leicester City by the keeper. Phil Foden should get this one in the air. He does. Headed back towards the danger zone. Manuel Akanji will get his head onto that. Haaland as well gets his head onto that. Mopped up here by Mateo Kovacic. Here is Phil Foden. Have a run, Phil. Got Kevin De Bruyne for support here on the right wing. And I think there's an offside flag got up there against De Bruyne. That's really poor. He can literally look right across the line. No excuses there for being offside. Seamus, what do I think of both teams playing in blue? It doesn't bother me too much. City are playing in different shorts and socks, so it's not that confusing. Normally when we play Chelsea or Everton, we play in our home shirts as well, so it never it causes too much confusion. You're looking at two very different shades. One's a very light, clear sky blue colour. The other's a very strong navy colour. I do also think to myself that, is that not what away kits are for? And third kits. And fourth kits. And special edition kits. So many kits from Manchester City this season, as Chalobah has got that equaliser that AZ's speaking about there for Crystal Palace. So 1-1 in their game at Selhurst Park against Southampton. Them games approaching just past the half an hour mark. He's ran it out to play Rico Lewis, and that'll be a throw-in for Leicester City, which Christiansen's going to take on this left-hand side. A bit of a sloppy bit of play that from Manchester City. Here is Conor Coady for Leicester. Good ball into the channel. Winks fouled, according to the referee. Erling Haaland thought he was away there, but referee has other ideas. And Leicester will have a free kick right near the centre circle spot, just inside the Manchester City half. Adrian, I like when they're playing the sky blue as well. I just think, I have no problem with Man City releasing loads of different kits. Obviously, the club's just looking for a source of income and another way for them to make money. It's how they make £600-700 million worth of money and huge profits and things. It's, I'm not going to sit here and disagree with a business that's working so well, but it's just a little, in my opinion anyway, a bit of a kick in the teeth for loyal, proud supporters that you're releasing so many kits, and obviously as you get older you just tend to pick and choose your shirts. I mean, what year is this from? A couple of years back. Still don't think Man City have released anything that's come close to it, in my opinion. And it'll be the shirt that I go to for this season, and it'll be the shirt that I go to for next season as well. But there's people out there who collect football shirts. There's people out there who are growing up who want to have all the Manchester City latest shirts, and at the moment, with the Club World Cup shirt that's been introduced, apparently they're going to be introducing 2 shirts for that, by the way. That means Man City are going to have a grand total of 6 shirts competitively used this season, not including training wear and not including limited special edition ones that they release. They tend to have like a Chinese New Year shirt that gets released. So there's the potential that City could have 7 or 8 different shirts, not including training. And quite frankly, that's ridiculous. A ridiculous amount of shirts. And I think it's just, when you're doing that, I just feel like it encourages people to start to use different sources to get the shirts. You know, like the DH Gate and things, where you can pick up shirts for, £10-15 rather than having to spend £70-80 per shirt. Because you're talking, if you get all them shirts, like £500 worth of replica shirts. Crazy. You go on DH Gate, you can probably pick up all them shirts for less than £100. So, yeah, I just feel like it encourages people to do that instead. Yeah. It's a strange one. It's a strange one. Just some money-making scheme. Anyway, here's Leicester coming forward. Oh, it's knife through butter. Surely now. Sure, he's taking on. Oh, no, penalty? Penalty? No penalty. Referee wants to have a look at this. That looked like a penalty for me. Is he onside? Yeah, Miles onside. Nathan Ake comes sliding in. He loses his footing. Does he trip him up? That's the question. Let's have a look at this. I don't think he touches him. Oh, no, his hand touches the back of his ankle. Let's have a look. He slides past him. He's not going anywhere. Oh, it's no, not a penalty for me. There's not enough in it. Good decision from Michael Oliver there. Good refereeing. Not a pen. Yeah, no, Seamus, not a pen. I needed a good closer look at it to make my decision. No, not a penalty. Good decision from the referee. Leicester City getting up ahead of steam. Look, the fans are on top of it now. The players are on top of it. I wanted a quick start from City. It's not happened. It's Leicester taking over. Doing what they've been doing for the majority of the second half of the first half. With Leicester on top and, Manchester City not got going at all. Well, Foden's just going to take his opportunity to go down and get a free kick. And I think if I'm Pep now, I think I wouldn't waste any time in getting some of the players on the bench warmed up and making a couple of changes just to see if they can turn the tide of this momentum, because this momentum continues for another 15-20 minutes. I can see Leicester finding at least a goal At the moment, Leicester are up ahead of steam. City have got to manage this. Don't do anything silly at the back. Not giving the ball away in silly areas. Patience. Manage the game. It's a good ball from Ortega to find Bernardo. City just knocking it around at the moment. Could do with them just getting forward a little bit. There we go, into the Leicester half. If we're going to give the ball away near Leicester's penalty area, not our own. Not great from Phil Foden, that then. Oh, that's smudged. Right, sorry guys, I'm just going to disappear for a second. I just need to put some water onto my glasses. Oh, I'm back. Sorry, my glasses got smudged. I was trying my hardest there just to get them clean with my shirt, but couldn't manage it. Needed some water putting onto it as Leicester had a shot there that went over the crossbar. Right, they are looking better. There we go. That's better. It's like seeing in HD. It's like going from 480p to, I'd say 4K. Here's Phil Foden. Cross comes in. City players lining up. Bernardo. Oh, Josko Gvardiol. I think Vestergaard's got in front of that and it's somehow gone out for a corner. Yeah, any of you guys that are eagle-eyed as I was taking a drink out of that, I think just a bit of the orange juice was on top of the cup. Touched the glasses, so I was just trying to get it off, and as I've tried to wipe it off with my shirt, it smudged it. Yeah, right in your sight of vision. It's very annoying. Needed washing off. That's what I was doing there. Corner then for Manchester City. Not really done anything this first 10 minutes. Got a corner. Maybe that needs celebrating. Here's De Bruyne. Not quite right and straight into the arms of the keeper. That weren't a terrible ball in from Kevin De Bruyne. You have somebody attack that 6-yard area. He could be in with a tap-in. None of the attackers read it. So keeper had a comfortable collection in the end. And here's Leicester now coming forward. And they are going to come forward because they're 1-0 down. They've got nothing to lose. As Fulham have taken the lead against AFC Bournemouth. Raul Jimenez with the goal on 40 minutes there for Fulham. Looking good so far, Fulham this season. Here's Jannik Vestergaard, plays the ball into the channel, should be cut off by Akanji, and here Josko Gvardiol's got time, gives the ball to De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva should pick that up and does, and he's just legged up there, and that will be a free kick, and it will be a yellow card as well. I think it was Samari with the challenge. And City have got a good position here to put a ball into the box. Adrian, yeah, not many teams do have more possession than Manchester City. Leicester have played a good game. It's looked like a fairly even contest. They've got some good players. It'll be interesting to see how Ruud Van Nistelrooy does with them. City at the moment, we're winning away. We've got to manage the game. Any game away from home requires a lot of effort and a lot of work. Nothing's a gimme in the Premier League, we know that. It's a very difficult league to win. Free kick then, Foden's going to take. He's going to allow the bounce and he's going to have to put that out for a corner. Good defending in the end. I think it was Samari keeping everybody onside there. Conceded the foul and got the yellow card. Concedes the corner after keeping everybody onside. Read it well, though. Good bit of defending. Phil Foden takes the corner, takes it short. Here's De Bruyne then to Foden. And hooked across from Haaland and couldn't find Nathan Ake, and the keeper collects it. Some more minutes tick by then. Nearly onto the hour mark. We've got some substitutions warming up. I wonder how long it'll be before we see either side twist and make a move from the bench. Here's Winks into Samari. Under pressure from Foden. Finds his pass to Mavadidi. He plays the ball with the outside of his foot. It's a good pass. That's a good challenge. No. Referee says free kick. Leicester City in a good spot. Bernardo Silva not happy with that. A ball was there to be won. Let's have a look. Him gets the ball. Never it. Oh, does he get the ball? Does he get the ball? From that first angle that the game's been broadcast on, it looked like Bernardo Silva had won the ball. The other angle tells me different, that he didn't win the ball. Deceiving camera angles, guys. I don't know if he won the ball or not. Two angles say two different things. It doesn't matter. Referee's given a free kick. He's not going to change his mind. And it's a real good position, this, for Leicester City. 25 yards out, slightly to the left of centre. Vardy stood over it. Mavadidi stood over it. Winks is there. I think Vardy's going to have this. He's not. It's just going to be chipped in and headed down and picked off by Erling Haaland, who's just going to leather this clear. Have it! Christiansen mops that up very nicely. Here's Mavadidi under pressure from Foden. Does well just to force him back. Good defending that from Manchester City. Anyway, guys, don't forget, please do leave a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you're new around here. And do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description in the live chat. Or you can use the QR code on screen. Nearly on the hour mark, into the 60th minute now. Ball gets worked back to the Leicester goalkeeper. Again, City just struggling to have possession of the football. It's disrupting Man City's game. And it's a poor back pass from Leicester, and Conor Coady's got no choice but to put that in the stands, and that will be a throw-in for Manchester City. Does well to stop that going out for a corner. Josko Gvardiol then to take the throw-in for Manchester City. City just look happy to take their time. Bernardo Silva then to Kovacic, finds Akanji in some space. Here's Kovacic. Don't seem to be going anywhere, this, for Manchester City at the mo. At the moment, Leicester's just got everybody camped inside their own half. Ake's got the ball, but City are currently going nowhere. Here's Kovacic. Lovely drop of the shoulder. But they're not connecting. Savinho, has Savinho even touched the ball in this second half? Here's Mavadidi. Lightning quick counter-attack from Leicester. As Seamus says, City need to wake up. They're just waiting for Man City to make a mistake so they can capitalise upon it. And they know that the mistake's coming. Here's Christiansen. Surely he's going to put his foot through it. No, he's just going to go for the cross, and Akanji's going to deal with it. This is really poor from Manchester City. Really poor. Adrian says Spurs now winning 2-1. Free kick given against Rico Lewis. City not at the races here. Change is needed. And quick. Yeah, it is a free kick for Leicester as well. Rico Lewis. Not working there. More defending for Man City to do. Oh, back post. Ball in, and surely now cleared off the line. Cleared off the line by Manchester City. A free kick given against Savinho there. What is going on? I think Vardy was offside for it, so I don't think it'd have counted, but Justin nearly with the equaliser. City all over the shop. My word, guys. Poor. Really poor from Manchester City. The most frustrating part is this is one-way traffic. Only one team looks like scoring next. It's gone from in the first half, it was end to end. City can't get out. At the moment, they're just here soaking up and absorbing pressure. This will be one-way traffic. It'll lead to just one thing. Change is needed. Got no way of being involved in this game at the moment. No way at all. At the moment, the problem that City have got is they're not getting the attackers involved in the game. So Leicester are just committing more and more players forward and pinning City in. Because when City do get the ball, they've got no way of releasing the attackers into the game because they've not got the pace. Bernardo Silva, Savinho, Phil Foden, they're not rapid, quick players. I'd be throwing Jeremy Doku on. See what he can do. I think, yeah, as he says, James McAtee's about to come on for some fresh legs in midfield. This Bernardo Silva or De Bruyne are coming off. City needing some fresh legs. Desperately needed. Ball comes forward. Well defended by Akanji on Jamie Vardy. I wonder how long it'll be before Vardy comes off. So McAtee's going to come on. The question is, who's it going to be for? It's just poor City giving the ball away again. They can't get out. They cannot get out. Here's Leicester coming forward again. Vardy. Ball across the box. Leicester look reluctant to put the foot through it. And McAtee keeps that one in. Christiansen gets the ball in. And Rico Lewis happy just to take the free kick. There's going to be a yellow card whilst he's at it. "65 minutes in then. What's this change going to do for City?" I don't know why Vardy didn't just put his foot through that. But he doesn't, so there we go. Bilal El Khanous into the book. McAtee going to come on for Manchester City. It's going to be Phil Foden that comes off. I wonder if City are going to move Bernardo to the right wing then. And McAtee into midfield, or they're going to put McAtee out wide. And we'll see where McAtee goes. Nice to see. I said this before. It's important to see some of the young players. Don't be scared to give him 20, 25 minutes. And it's good to see McAtee getting 25 minutes there. Hopefully it'll pay dividends. It's looking like Simpson-Pusey might be coming on for City very soon as well. Here's Josko Gvardiol now. And gets a throw in for Manchester City. I mean, Leicester fans are happy they're pressing. But I'm just happy for City just to burn this clock down. Get a throw in, and Van Nistelrooy's instructions very clear. Squeeze Manchester City. Press and squeeze. It might be a time for Jack Grealish to be brought on too. He could be a very useful player just to buy some free kicks. That's going to be another throw-in for Manchester City and a few more seconds eaten away. It does look like Simpson-Pusey is going to be coming on them for City very soon. I imagine this will be for Ayew. Here's Bernardo Silva then. Just chips a ball into nobody. And Vestergaard deals with that. Poor from Manchester City, this. Really poor. Got no way of being involved in this game. It's looking like a like for like, and McAtee's gone on the right wing for City. I don't really see what effect that has, if I'm being honest. Here's Leicester just coming forward now. Christiansen. There's space again to deal with. Here's Mavididi. It's a good ball in, and Vardy, oh, is over the bar. That's a difficult chance, that, for Jamie Vardy. He's got to get the touch right. It's very difficult. He takes that on the volley. He's blinded by Ake, and Vardy's disappointed in himself. That finish isn't as easy as I think people think that it is. He has to get his foot on top of it. Keeper's advancing. Vardy's very frustrated, but you're either going to put your toe on the end of it and it's going to rise, or you're going to put the bottom end of your foot onto it and send it into the ground. But you put your bottom of your foot onto that, there's every chance you miss the ball completely. That isn't an easy finish, as easy as what maybe some people think. But make no mistake, there's a huge chance for Leicester City. And again, you know, that's like the 5th massive opportunity that Leicester have had. I'd definitely be getting Jack Grealish on this pitch. We need to find a way just to take pressure off. I mean, it's Kyle Walker that's coming on, but Dave says 45% possession and going down. Let's not forget. Leicester City getting up ahead of steam. I think Man City at the moment are just thinking to themselves, rather than about the performance and statistics, it's about getting the win. They'll take having less possession and a win. At the moment, Walker's going to come on. I think Ake's just told Pep that he's all right at the mo. So I wonder if Walker's going to come on for Rico Lewis. I think Pep maybe is just saying to Nate, he's going to bring Ake off now, I think. Is he? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no, sorry, I'm getting that mixed up. Sorry, it's James Justin coming off. I think Choudhury's coming on. Leicester committing another midfielder in for a defender. Man City going to take their opportunity to take Nathan Ake off now, just to rest his legs. Said he's all right, he can do 70 minutes, so he comes off and Kyle Walker will come on. He's going to give more support here for Rico Lewis. He's telling Rico Lewis to go to the left-hand side. Kyle Walker's going to take that right-hand side. Instructions to the defence. I mean, Akanji looked a bit confused there. So Josko Gvardiol's been told he's a centre-back now, with Akanji, and Walker's going to do the right-hand side, and Rico Lewis is going to do the left-hand side to try and provide more support in midfield. And Ortega's taking a sensible decision here that he's just going to whack this ball as far away from the City goal as possible. As we go into the final 20 minutes of the game, don't forget, guys, do leave a thumbs up on the video. That would be great. Do subscribe, and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Here is Christiansen then with the throw-in for Leicester City. Preparing there. I thought they were going to take Samari off. Not at the moment. He's going to let him back onto the pitch. Long ball sent in from the throw-in. Dealt with by Kovacic. Here's Bernardo Silva. Under pressure. Gets his head onto it. Can't find the football though. And Choudhury's going to pick that up on the right-hand side. And Leicester are going to try and build an attack, as City have had just 33% possession here in the second half, not had any shots. We've done nothing, absolutely nothing in this second half. We need the assurance of that second goal, and yet we've done nothing. All we're doing is defending in the hope that Leicester's not got the quality to hurt us. The drop-off from City from 20 minutes into this game's been astounding. The players are tired because they're not rotating. Offside flag goes up against Leicester. They're not rotating. This is why the players are tired. I'll be amazed if City managed to nil Leicester in this game. Amazed. Been knocking on the door and they've not got an answer. They don't know how to sort it out. Leicester just continuing to put the squeeze on. Leicester look far fitter than City. Here's Bernardo Silva. Does well. Avoids a challenge. A little bit of possession at last for City now over the last couple of minutes. And it's a heavy touch from Josko Gvardiol. He'll go down and gets a free kick, thankfully. And a heavy touch that from Josko Gvardiol. City have got another 18 minutes plus whatever's to be added on to try and see out. Simpson-Pusey still stripped and ready to come on. I don't know who he's going to come on for. I think that's why City are just holding the sub back. Is De Bruyne. Back to Kyle Walker. Is Kyle Walker. McAtee. Oh, it's nice to see James McAtee. Lovely from McAtee. Here's De Bruyne. Can we have our first shot? Oh, it's a good ball from Savinho. Haaland! Oh! You know, maybe it's not deserved by Manchester City in that second half. But that was scintillating from Manchester City. Done nothing in this second half. And James McAtee avoids one challenge. Passing to the Papa De Bruyne. De Bruyne into Savinho. He's got a goal and an assist. And a lovely header from Haaland. Reminds me of that chance earlier in the first half where Haaland couldn't quite generate enough power into his header because it was slightly behind him. A little bit more zip in this cross from Savinho. And a lovely header from Erling Haaland back in amongst the goals. And Manchester City 2-0 up. And boy, did we need that goal. Hopefully that'll kill off the challenger Leicester City now. Lovely stuff from Manchester City. I'm not getting too carried away because I'm still thinking Feyenoord in my head. So there's still work to do. We're not getting too carried away. Only takes a goal and Leicester right back in it. So Manchester City still got work. It's a lovely goal that from Manchester City though. A really lovely goal and kudos James McAtee. Give the young players a chance. Anyway. Here's Leicester City. They've got nothing to lose, Leicester. It's not really... It's changed, obviously, they need 2 goals rather than 1. They don't really change much about their approach. They're just going to keep trying to create opportunities and attack Manchester City. So we could really do with the assurance. A third kills this game, you would think. Obviously, we conceded 3 against Feyenoord in 15 minutes. As that's a good ball played over for Haaland. He's putting Conor Coady under pressure and he gets a throw in there for Manchester City. Haaland's just strong, isn't he? Erling Haaland, he's got himself a goal now. Oozing with confidence. Oozing. Conor Coady not happy he didn't get a free kick there. So shoulder to shoulder. He's a very strong player, Erling Haaland. But he's one of them. You've just got to be physical with him back. You could barge Erling Haaland off the ball and put him on the ground and we won't get a free kick for it. It's one of them things. As a cross comes in from Haaland, a header from Savinho. We get a corner. We've got a corner, guys. Still got 14 minutes to see out here, Manchester City. So don't forget, guys, do leave a thumbs up. We're 47 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. Both ping-ponging around from that corner. Leicester have managed to get their foot on the ball. I think the offside flag's gone up against Manchester City. Excuse me, so that'll be a free kick for Leicester City inside their own penalty area. Got 13 minutes to see out here, Manchester City. It'd be great. I do have confidence the world of good to get a clean sheet and see this out to 0. It'd be a perfect way to end this poor run of form and get back to winning ways by keeping a clean sheet as well. And Man City has shown some glimpses that the quality is there. It's just not been consistent enough. Saw it against Nottingham Forest with the 3-0 win. We were lucky at times with 1 or 2 opportunities not being put away like we have in this game. But when we've had the opportunities, we've scored the goals that we've needed to. That should be a goal kick for Manchester City and is. Vardy had a shot ricocheted off Rico Lewis back onto the fire. Jamie Vardy and out for a goal kick for Manchester City. So they showed that in that Nottingham Forest game, they've got the quality. They showed it in the Manchester derby. Had it not been for them crazy couple of minutes right at the end, we know that Manchester City would have 1-0 that game. Should have beaten Everton. You score that Bernardo Silva chance or the penalty, and there's every chance that Man City go on to win that game as well, as Stefan Ortega shown his first yellow card of the season for time wasting. He's not happy that he's been shown the yellow card. I think he's probably thinking about how many times Man City have played teams, and their teams waste times against us from their keeper, and they never get a... Pep's smiling and laughing, but really red in the face and angry at the same time. He knows for a fact how many teams start time wasting against City over the last year or two and don't get penalised for it. And Man City now are just playing the clock. They've been playing the clock all half, to be fair. It's not been a game about performance for Manchester City. This has been a game about getting the result. It's about winning. At the moment, you can work on your performances game after game after game. And right now, we need the result. We need points. We need wins. Any which way to win. That's what we're looking at. And that's right now, 79 minutes in, that's what we've done. We still, though, have 11 minutes to see out as De Bruyne picks the ball up here for City. Savinho's bursting forward. De Bruyne passing to the channel. Savinho's going back post. Haaland! I couldn't get his header right, and it's wide. Yeah, how good Savinho looked on that left wing. Jeremy Doku will be thinking to himself on the bench, I'm sure. I think there should be a good time now for City just to chuck a couple of fresh legs onto the pitch. Whether it be the experienced players, likes of Gundogan and Doku, or whether it be a couple of the young players. Just get some fresh legs on there. Here's Vestergaard. Leicester just continuing to try and come forward. They've looked good in possession, Leicester City. They've created opportunities. They'll be frustrated. That's another wicked ball across from Choudhury this time. No one's there to attack it and put the ball in. Maybe just a little bit too much on that drilled ball across the box, but the right idea there from Leicester City. And again, could have potentially caused Manchester City a lot of problems. In the end, Leicester just haven't quite had that quality in the final third. Much to Manchester City's advantage. McAtee finds Haaland. It's a lovely pass from McAtee. Here's Haaland now. He's got a big driving stride ahead of him. Can't sort his feet out properly, and Winks does well to get back and make the interception there. I think Haaland will be disappointed he weren't at least able to find a pass away. It's exactly where Haaland wants to receive the ball, so I'm surprised he's not managed to do more with it. Here's Mavididi for Leicester. 9 minutes to go here for Manchester City. McAtee just tracking back, forces Mavididi to go backwards here to Winks. Here's Choudhury. Might he try a ball into the box? He chooses not to. So it's just a bit pedestrian there. It's a good challenge in the end from Bernardo Silva, and Savinho goes down and City get themselves a throw-in. He wanted a free kick there. Felt like he'd been barged in the back. I think Leicester have just started to go at a walking pace. I think they're just feeling the game now. So Man City, we've got Leicester where we want them to. What we don't want to do now is concede in the next couple of minutes. They're running on empty at the moment, Leicester City. So they'll be relying on adrenaline, and 2-0, it's difficult. And as the game ticks away and things don't start to go your way, you get more and more tired. So I wouldn't rule out there being maybe another goal in this game. What we don't want is a grandstand finish. Here's Savinho. Good work from Savinho. Rico Lewis, surely a free kick this time. Is a free kick. I think my JSGC man of the match today has definitely got to go to Savinho. Gets his first goal for Manchester City. Gets an assist. City are winning. We're keeping a clean sheet. What's going on? What's going on? Get a replay of that second goal from City. It's a beautiful, beautiful goal. Erling Haaland with a big smile on his face. He knows that it's a wonderful goal. It's a great ball from Savinho, but it's all from McAtee. Look at McAtee getting shoved in the back from everybody. He knows what it means. He knows he's got the quality. It's nice. It's nice to see the players smiling. When you picked up one win in 13 games, it's hard work for the players. It's difficult to turn that and change that form around. It's difficult to enjoy yourself. So it's nice to see things click and go our way. And it's nice to see the players smiling again. And I'm going to reiterate to you guys, win this game, go into the next game against West Ham at home. To me, another winnable game. If we can win that, there's a winnable game against Salford City at home in the Cup. You win that, that's 3 wins in a row. And then you'll see Manchester City start to become a different beast. They start to be confident. They start to find their legs. They start to adapt. They start to enjoy themselves. They start to just relax. And then things start to look better for Manchester City. So we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. We've still got another 6 minutes to see out here. But at the moment, it's been good stuff from Manchester City at times. Here's Haaland now to McAtee. Oh, go on then, have a shot. Have a shot! Whiskers away from James McAtee there. Whiskers away. That's a real good point. Geffin says real happy for Savinho, and Adrian says Savinho should be brought off. Let him have an ovation from the fans. And I agree with that, yeah. Let him have his little moment. And Savinho will feel much better about himself. He knows that he's got a child on the way. He scored his first goal for Manchester City. He's 20 years old. He'll be loving life right now. Why wouldn't you be loving life right now? Thousands of quid in the bank. Family life looking good for him. Playing with confidence. He's scoring goals. Funny old game. Patson Daka does come on now for Leicester City. I missed them substitutions then. Apologies for that. Final throw of the dice from Leicester. Christiansen's going to keep that in. Under pressure from McAtee. Does well. I wonder if we might see Man City just go to the bench and make a couple of changes. We'll see. Here is Leicester, though, coming forward. I think we all agree we need to see more McAtee. I want to see him start. I want him to start against West Ham. Palace are 2-1 up. Bournemouth have just found an equaliser away at Fulham. Palace 2-1 up, of course, against Southampton. As them 3 PM games are underway now for the second half. This game nearly up. Cross comes in. Well defended by Josko Gvardiol. Once again, more organisation for the City defensive line. Ndidi can't find a way through. Manuel Akanji can sort out City at the back, and they get the advantage for a challenge on Kovacic. Here is McAtee now into the Leicester half. Looks for support. He has to go all the way back to Kyle Walker. Plays a 1-2 with James McAtee. There's acres of space for City players on the left-hand side. McAtee just gets a throw in for Manchester City instead. Happy just to waste a few more minutes here. So we're into the 87th minute. It's a well-managed game. It's been squeaky bum for a lot of the first half and second half. I'm going to say that Man City were probably lucky that Leicester haven't had more quality in the final third, that we haven't been punished for being a bit lacklustre in midfield and at the back, and we've done what we've needed to do to grind it out. And we've just got to see it out now. In the final stretches, Leicester got nowhere to go. It'll be a throw-in for Manchester City. Take your time. Let them seconds tick by. Take your time. Manage the game. Leicester want to rush things. And this is all about the assurance of the second goal. This is what should have happened in the derby. It's what should have happened away at Sporting. It's much better game management. I think this is lessons being learnt from that Feyenoord game back at the end of November. Like a foul throw, that from Bernardo. He'll get a free kick instead. That'll do. It'll do. It will do. 88th minute then. 2 minutes plus whatever's to be added on here. Manchester City closing in on 3 points. A big 3 points in the Premier League. And we could really do with making it 2 wins in 14. We can all have a big smile on our face to end 2024. De Bruyne tries to thread a pass through. Cut off by Leicester. Here's Samori coming forward. That's a good shout, Ortega. He's made some very important saves. He's been there when we've needed him to be. Here's Mavididi, edge of the City penalty area. Do not concede right now. Header comes in. Oh, was that on the crossbar? Jamie Vardy. Keeper was scrambling. I think it did hit the crossbar, that. I think a goal kick's been given, so the keeper's not made to save, so I'm almost certain it's off the bar. Yeah. Adrian, yeah. We have had a bit of bad luck over the last few games. You make your own luck, and we've had some fortune fall our way, and we've managed to win the game. Could have been a very different game, this, so I'm not going to, in my match reaction, start saying, oh, Man City are back and this and that. It's very reactionary kind of thing to say. It's not been a clean, brilliant performance from Manchester City. They've just done what they've needed to do. And it's a much-needed win. And they've relied on a bit of luck. That's okay. At the moment, it's not about performances. It's about winning. Andrew, I agree with that. I mean, it's important how they manage McAtee now. We don't want McAtee to end up like everybody else that's left. Morgan Rogers as Alves comes on for Leicester. We're into added time then. I reckon there'll probably be 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes then. 5 minutes added on. And City here just got 5 minutes to try and navigate from this game. As Erling Haaland picks the ball up for City and just giving away. Fancy there's maybe time for 3-4 more opportunities in the game. So whilst it's 2-0, it's looking good for City, but the game's not over and only takes a second to score. So still another 4 minutes or so of work for City to do. Had this been 1-0, this would be very much squeaky bum time. As Rico Lewis just ran past there. See what I said before earlier in the stream about Rico Lewis? Ball's ping-ponging around. Bruyne gets his foot in there. Here's Bernardo Silva. He wants a free kick. I think he's got a free kick. Linesmen weren't going to give that. He was prepared to give a throw-in for Leicester then. Anyway, guys, upon the conclusion of this game, I'm going to end the stream and crack on with my match reaction for you guys. So I will see you guys for that within an hour of the full-time whistle. So do stay tuned for that. Do stay tuned for more videos. Remember, I've got my daily Manchester City transfer updates coming as well from January 1st for you guys to enjoy. I'll be back with another stream for the West Ham game on Saturday for you guys to enjoy. So do stay tuned for that. We'll have all the build up to that game and, of course, all the talking points from this game and anything else there is to talk about in the meantime. So do stay tuned for that. Do subscribe. We're less than 400 subscribers away from 39,000 subscribers. Any help towards that would be great. Do also check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes. We're close to 60, so if we could hit 70, that would be good. Any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're still watching this live right now, what are your thoughts as we head to full time as James McAtee's got hold of the ball? What are your full-time thoughts? Do let me know in the live chat. And do go and check out today's video sponsor. And a big thank you to SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. So just 2 minutes remaining here for Manchester City to see out. It's now just looking to try and coast. As Julie says, a bit of relief. I think we could all agree with that. Nottingham Forest up to second. Amazing. Evan Nilsson's not a bad shout. Bless me. Yeah, it's not a bad shout for a backup to Haaland. The question is, though, who wants to join Manchester City to be backup? Players want to start. So unless you bring in an ageing forward or a versatile forward, I just don't see what options there are out there for Manchester City. But I don't think, I said this in the summer, I don't think Ivan Toney was all that keen on a move to Saudi Arabia, and I reckon he'd have been more than happy to play understudy to Erling Haaland, knowing that he'll get a few games for City, and definitely be a good option off the bench if you're needing someone to grab a goal, and he's good with his penalties as well. I said at the time, he was available for 30-odd million quid. I'd have took a punt on him, homegrown as well. I know he's got his ego and his past and stuff, but I just think he's just an out-and-out solid Premier League striker. I'd have been all over that in the summer. I really would. But ship sailed. Here we are. Into the final minute. Man City are going to be returning back to winning ways. Winning for the first time since the beginning of this month against Nottingham Forest. Just our second win in 14 games. But a win is a win. And our final game of 2024, I do want to say a huge thank you to you guys for tuning in and all the support. It is much appreciated. It does mean the world to me. My channel yesterday turned 8 years old, so all the support that you guys have shown me has been much appreciated from me. And I do wish everybody a very happy and prosperous 2025. Into the final few seconds here, a bit of defending for Manchester City to do. That's going to be a corner for Leicester City. So one last bit of defending. Can we keep hold of the clean sheet? City desperately trying to keep hold of the clean sheet now. It is Pep Guardiola's 500th game. Hopefully will be a win for Manchester City as well. So just the last bit for City to see out here. Can we get a clean sheet? It'd be great to get a clean sheet. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Do subscribe. Everything else in the description. And yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. Ruud Van Nistelrooy and Pep Guardiola embrace. Have a little word on the touchline as the corner comes in and Choudhury just couldn't get on the end of that, and Ortega has the ball gracefully in his arms. A handshake and a little hug comes in for Van Nistelrooy and Pep Guardiola, and the full-time whistle does go, and Manchester City win this game against Leicester City by 2-0. We may have had less possession. It might not have been the best performance from Manchester City, but we have won. And that's all that matters. 3 points. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated. I'll see you all for the live stream on Saturday for City's next game against West Ham. Can we make it back-to-back wins? What's not to be excited? Savinho, outstanding for City today. Great to see 25 minutes of McAtee and him showing what he can do. Great to see Haaland back in amongst the goals. And a clean sheet as well. Not the best of performances from City, but 3 points is 3 points. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated. Final note, do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. A huge thank you to them for sponsoring this stream. The streams, they don't happen without the sponsors. It doesn't happen without SofaScore, so I'd appreciate any interaction with them, checking them out with the link in the description or the QR code on screen or the link in the live chat. That would be much appreciated. It's a free app to download, and it's helped to provide all the information for you guys on today's stream. I'm going to roll my promo video right now. And you are all more than welcome for the stream. I'll see you for the next one. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Take it easy, guys. Peace. Ciao for now.